Cause wait a goddamn minute. Why am I so late to the party? Why didn't I know about Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa, and Teyana Taylor? Baby, what? Oh, you're gonna love me. That shit looks so divine. It's almost look like they was made for each other. Them motherfucking pictures look like they supposed to be in an art museum. Like, that shit looks so fucking French kid. I am here for it. I am here for it. That gotta be the reason why Lori was like, nah, I'm cool on him. Because you know Lori is not turning down no new bait, baby. She would have ate it up real quick. Oh, I'm just here for it. They look so damn good together. Like, what?
A private phone call between Teyana and Aaron just surfaced, and it's like throwing gasoline on an already burning fire. What was supposed to be a private and emotional moment has now become public spectacle. In this explosive call, Teyana lays everything bare. Her voice shakes. She stumbles through her words, and yet she speaks the truth. Or at least her version of it. She confesses to doing things she once denied, including manipulating people she claimed to love. Aaron, on the other end, sounds crushed but composed, asking hard questions with a quiet pain in his voice. It's a side of him fans rarely hear, vulnerable, hurt, but strong enough to ask, why? And when Teyana says, I didn't mean for things to go this far, it's not just words. It's regret echoing through every pause. The clip, now making rounds on every social media platform, doesn't lie. There's no editing, no spin, just raw emotions. And in the age of receipts and cancellations, Teyana may have just exposed her biggest weakness. The call starts innocently enough with Aaron asking, why didn't you just tell me the truth from the start? There's a long pause. So long that listeners thought the clip had frozen. But then Teyana replies in a small voice, I was scared, okay? And that's when everything changes. She reveals that she was emotionally involved with both Aaron and Iman at the same time, unable or unwilling to let either of them go. I didn't know how to choose, so I tried to keep both, she says, her voice trembling. It's a shocking admission that confirms months of online speculation and fan theories. She admits she played the innocent card in public to protect her image, fearing the backlash if the truth came out. Aaron responds not with anger, but sadness, saying, you broke me, and you don't even sound sorry. Teyana insists she is, but even she knows that sorry doesn't fix a heart. At one point she pleads, it was never supposed to hurt you like this. But hurt him it did, and now the whole world knows. Within minutes of the call going live, the internet erupted into complete chaos. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, every major platform lit up with commentary, analysis, and opinion. Hashtags like, "By our Teyana confesses" and "Our Aaron deserves better" began trending within the hour, capturing the whirlwind of reactions flooding social media. For many fans who had fiercely supported Teyana through her recent drama-filled months, the audio came as a brutal shock. They had stood by her side, defended her choices, and believed her narrative. Now, they felt betrayed. We stood by her, and she was out here lying the whole time, one person tweeted, echoing the sentiment of thousands. On the flip side, there were also voices attempting to defend her. Some fans reminded others that while the confession was damaging, at least she had eventually told the truth. She owned it. That's more than most people in the spotlight do, one user wrote, sparking a thread of debate. But for a significant portion of the public, it was simply too little, too late. The damage wasn't just about what she said, it was about what people felt they had been misled into believing. The internet, in true form, did what it does best. It turned pain into parody. Memes started flooding every corner of social media. One line in particular, "I tried to keep both," became an instant viral sensation. Screenshots of the quote were overlaid onto images of juggling clowns, soap opera characters, and even fictional villains. While some posts were meant to be funny, others carried a much sharper edge, criticizing Teyana's actions as manipulative and selfish. The line became more than just a quote. It became a symbol of betrayal and emotional recklessness, at least, in the eyes of her critics. At the same time, a vocal group of supporters continued to defend Teyana, urging others to remember her humanity. "She's a person, not a character on a show," one user posted. Many pointed out that emotional mistakes in complicated relationships are not uncommon, especially under public scrutiny. They argued that the public was too quick to villainize. women who show vulnerability and complexity. It soon became a digital war of opinions. One side painting Teyana as a calculated manipulator, the other as a misunderstood woman caught between heartbreak and pressure. The divide was deep, passionate, and growing by the hour. Even celebrities couldn't resist jumping into the conversation. Some issued vague tweets that were clearly aimed at the situation without naming names, while others offered subtle shows of support. A few shared heart emojis or reposted content that encouraged mental health awareness and forgiveness, seen as indirect endorsements of Teyana. Others, however, seemed to shade her more explicitly, posting cryptic messages about loyalty and honesty. The online community was dissecting every word, every emoji, trying to decode alliances and hidden messages from influencers and public figures alike. Meanwhile, as the internet spiraled, Aaron remained completely silent. Not a single tweet, Instagram, story, or public statement came from him. His silence, though seemingly passive, ended up speaking volumes. Insiders close to him began telling a different story. A story of shock, hurt, and betrayal. Apparently, Aaron had no idea the call was being recorded, let alone that it would be leaked online. Some suspect the audio may have been leaked by someone within Teyana's circle, though nothing has been confirmed. What is certain, however, is that Aaron feels deeply violated. That phone call had been, in his mind, a private moment. He had opened up, asked honest questions, and stayed, composed despite the pain. He never expected it to become a global headline. One of Aaron's friends reportedly said, "He's heartbroken, but not surprised." That comment alone suggests Aaron may have already had doubts about whether he could fully trust Teyana. Still, what has shocked many is how composed he remained throughout the call. While the internet tore Teyana apart or tried to piece together her motives, Aaron was receiving a flood of support for his calm, measured tone. He didn't yell. He didn't blame. He just asked questions, genuine, raw questions, and allowed her to speak. That restraint, in such an emotional moment, has earned him tremendous respect from fans and celebrities alike. Many are now urging him to speak publicly, believing this is his moment to reclaim his narrative and clarify the truth from his own perspective, but whether Aaron will respond remains a mystery. Those closest to him say he's still processing, unsure of whether making a public statement would bring peace or simply prolong the pain. One thing is certain, though, all eyes are on him. The world is watching, and people are eager to hear his side, not through leaked clips or rumors, but from the man himself. Teyana, on the other hand, has found herself in the center of a storm she never intended to create, and now she's in full-blown damage control mode. Since the leak of the emotional phone call, she hasn't made any public statements or posts. Her social media accounts have remained silent, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening behind the scenes. In fact, reports suggest her PR team is working nonstop, trying to contain the fallout and strategize her next move. This wasn't just a bad look. It was a major reputational hit, and every hour that passes without a response is adding more fuel to the fire. Sources close to her say she's devastated. The leak caught her completely off guard. According to people within her circle, she had no idea the conversation would become public. She allegedly confided in a friend, saying, "This wasn't meant to be public. I was venting." That moment, which she believed was private and emotionally raw, is now permanently out there for the world to dissect. It doesn't matter how spontaneous or vulnerable her confession was. Once something is public, the damage is already done. Her intentions may not have been malicious, but the result has created lasting consequences. Now, there are strong rumors circulating that Teyana may be preparing to do a televised sit-down interview, something structured and emotionally controlled, where she can share her side of the story in a more thoughtful setting. While nothing has been officially confirmed, multiple insiders say conversations are happening behind closed doors with media outlets. The idea is to show a more human, reflective side of Teyana, to help people understand the context and emotion behind that phone call. But even that option carries risk. A poorly received interview could make things worse. In the meantime, her team appears to be weighing two very different strategies. One is to lay low, stay silent, and let the storm pass naturally, trusting that the public attention will shift to something else soon. The other is to face it head-on, to speak out now, control the narrative, and try to begin rebuilding her public image. Both options come with consequences, and no matter which path she takes, the outcome is unpredictable. What's clear, though, is that fans are growing impatient. They want answers. They want to hear from her directly, not through vague statements or unnamed sources. Some are demanding a heartfelt apology. Others feel like no explanation can undo the betrayal they now associate with her name. For them, the damage to her credibility is already done. Still, there are those who remain hopeful, people who believe everyone deserves the chance to explain, to grow, and to make amends. But Teyana's window to do that is closing fast, and her next move will likely define how this chapter ends. There's also the growing risk that saying too much could dig her in deeper. Every word she says from this point forward will be heavily analyzed, possibly used against her. Still, the pressure is immense, and her next move could determine whether she begins to repair public trust or lose it entirely. It's a high-stakes situation, and the window for graceful recovery is closing fast. This entire saga has become more than just a scandal. It's a cultural moment. People are using it to talk about trust, privacy, betrayal, and accountability in relationships, especially under the spotlight. What started as a leaked phone call has now become a digital storm, one that shows no sign of slowing down. And while no one knows exactly what will happen next, one thing is undeniable. The internet will never forget this call. This one phone call might be the most real thing we've ever seen from Teyana. It's not edited, not filtered, it's just raw honesty. But even with the truth out there, it doesn't mean people are ready to forgive. Aaron now has the upper hand in this whole saga. His calm demeanor and refusal to lash out has won him new respect across the board. Meanwhile, Teyana's reputation, already bruised, is hanging by a thread. What began as a quiet entanglement between two stars is now a public war with emotional casualties. Trust is broken, hearts are hurting, and the world is watching like it's the final season of a drama series. People are even whispering about more leaked calls, possibly worse than this one. If that's true, then the worst may still be ahead. One private moment, meant to be heard by only two people, changed everything. And now there's no undoing it. No matter what comes next, this chapter will be remembered forever. And as for Teyana and Aaron, this may be the end of their story, or just another messy beginning.